So, have you ever finished a graffiti piece, packed up all your paint, drove away feeling pretty good about yourself, only to look at the pictures later and immediately spot one mistake that completely ruins it for you? Yeah, that's exactly what happened on this one. Hey gang, what is going on? My name's S1, I'm a writer from Montreal, Canada, and I'm here in Longueuil today to go over a wall behind me. Gonna rock out a nice summery piece, some bright colors, get it rocking, have a lot of fun, man. So stick with me and we'll check it out. Boom. Alright, now here's the deal. Here's the spiel, man. I decided to paint here because I thought it was gonna be in the shade. Turns out there's no shade around here. Just a big wall in direct sunlight. It's gonna be hot today, hot as a mother. It's gonna be 35 degrees Celsius. That's hella degrees Fahrenheit. You know what? I'm gonna take a break while I'm buffing this wall right now because my paint ain't even covering the spray paint that's on there. I'm gonna make sure I put on a lot of sunscreen and get protected for this one. All right, that's better. Let's get back to it. Today's goal was pretty simple. Paint a nice, clean, colorful piece before heading to a meeting in Montreal later in the day. Easy enough, except Mother Nature had other plans. The shade didn't reach me until about noon, so for the first few hours I was basically standing in an oven. Now before we get to the painting, let me explain these colors because there's actually a theme behind them. If you're into Pokémon, you might recognize it almost immediately. This whole color palette is inspired by Mewtwo. The purples, the whites, the dark accents, and then I added bright green effects inspired by Mewtwo's shiny version. I actually really liked this sketch in Procreate. Everything looked balanced. The colors worked, the composition felt solid. Now all I had to do was paint it. As always, I started by laying out the sketch. Normally I spend quite a bit of time making sure every letter feels balanced before committing to the fill. But today, between the heat, constant phone calls, text messages, and knowing I had to be somewhere later, I rushed it. At first everything looked okay, until I reached the E. I don't know what it was. I redrew it a couple of times, moved around some angles, tried to make it flow with the rest of the piece, but nothing really clicked. And instead of slowing down, making sure that the symmetry was cool, I convinced myself it was good enough. I think we've all done that. Yo, I'm back. So guess what, man? Yesterday I was going through some stuff, cleaning out my locker, getting a bunch of stuff out of the way, throwing out a bunch of stuff, and you know what? I found these. A bunch of caps, man. Look at this. OG German outlines, the gray caps. They don't make these anymore. This one seems to be a super thin one. I don't remember what it is. Some cool as balls, extinct New York outlines. They don't make these anymore. They're New York thins. And I don't know how old this is, but this is one of the original transversal caps. Look at this, man. I think it's pretty dope. We're gonna try them out today, man. So check this out. Failed. Let's try out the other ones. Aha, this one works. It's on a high pressure can. It works. Reminds me of the skinny black ones. Pretty smooth. No! Does it fit on the hardcore? Nope. Doesn't fit on the hardcore, doesn't fit on the Kobra. And it spits everywhere on the 94. No, failed. Alright, let's go with the transversal one. Nope, still doesn't work, man. Well, that's a shame. We'll keep them, they're vintage. That's it. That's all. Let's go back to our original caps. Next came the background. I want something simple but energetic, so I taped off one giant lightning bulb running behind the piece, along with a few oversized triangles. For the fades, I used Calcutta orange, Hazzard orange, Indian yellow, and Canary yellow. I absolutely love this combination. It almost glows against the cool purples. Now for the main colors. The fade starts at the bottom with space purple, then Sultan violet, it moves into galaxy purple, and finishes into vampire purple at the top. Well, it was supposed to. I actually ran out of vampire purple halfway through, so the very top ended up being black instead. Honestly, I don't hate it. It gives the top a little more weight. Once the fills were finished, it was time for my favorite part, the bright white outline. I love how the white separates the dark colors. It instantly makes everything pop. After that, I built the 3D using Pearl Gray, Stardust Gray, and finish it with the white. I wanted it to feel almost carved into the wall. To finish off everything, I added some green details. Valley green highlighted with fluorescent green. One thing I intentionally did, I only added the green inside the letters, not in the extensions. I wanted your eye to stay focused on the actual word.
girl as the competition. But if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back, let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this to yourself, that's a bad decision. I don't see no one in front of me, you is a ghost, you ain't got a soul. Whoa, always say that they gon' come for me, knowing they won't, they doing the most. Whoa.
And finally, my signature. And when I stepped back, I actually thought, hey, I nailed it. I packed everything up, headed to my meeting, and didn't think much about it. Until later that evening. I looked at the finished pictures and immediately I saw it. The bottom of the E. It bent inward. It's cramped. The whole letter loses the flow that every other letter has. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The frustrating part is that it would have been one of the easiest fixes in the entire piece if I had taken literally 5 extra minutes during the sketch. I probably would have caught it. But because I was distracted, because I was rushing, because I wanted to finish quickly, I ignored that little voice telling me something wasn't quite right. And that's honestly one of the biggest lessons graffiti teaches you. Almost every mistake starts during the sketch. The fills, the outline, the effects, they can all be amazing, but if the structure isn't right, everything after that is just decorating a mistake. Even though I'm not completely happy with this one, I'm still glad I painted it. Every piece teaches you something. Sometimes you learn a new technique, sometimes you discover a color combination you love, and sometimes you simply remind yourself to slow down. So next time, I'm spending the extra 5 minutes. What do you think of this one? Do you like the Mewtwo inspired colors? And more importantly, would you have noticed the E if I hadn't pointed it out? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you at the next wall. Until next time, stay up!